All right, so let's talk about Smackdown from April the 9th, 2021. This was a great show. It was legit awesome. It was capped by three huge promos, very in depth, very focused. And it's amazing how this show is created and produced and put on by the same company that puts on Raw. Unreal. If you just look at SmackDown, and some people will say, well, it's a skippable SmackDown, nothing on it matters. I think it was a highly entertaining show. I think it was very interesting. I think it did a lot of great build for WrestleMania. But when you look at Raw, Raw made you feel down about WrestleMania. You was like, oh, this is going to suck. But then you come out of SmackDown and you're like, oh, at least the SmackDown side of WrestleMania, for the most part, not completely, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty goddamn solid. Now, SmackDown did us a favor. They trimmed the fat. They did some things on this show that didn't bloat the WrestleMania card. They took the tag team title match, put it on this show. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, put it on this show. Made this show more interesting. Infinitely more interesting because there's actual stakes to the matches and stuff like that on this show. But they loaded up the show with promos. They loaded up the show with character building promos, match building promos. They did exactly what I said they should do on Monday. They took their top guys out of the ring and let everybody else fill in the void. Right? They took their top guys out of the ring, top girls too, took them out of the ring, put in everyone else. But the top guys and the top girls were still there. They still did something. They just did promos. Brilliant. I mean, absolutely brilliant. That's all I asked. That's all I asked. So let's go through the show. We're going to do the three big promos first. And then we're going to go through, we're going to do predictions in a different video. So we're going to do, the Bryan, Edge, Roman promo. Then we're going to do Sasha and Bianca. Then we're going to just do the promos first, then we'll do the matches. How about that? All right. So each promo had a central theme. Obviously, they're supposed to have central themes. Daniel Bryan's central theme is that I have constantly been denied, and I have overcome those denials. You say, am I a main event guy? They say no. I say yes. This is a guy who's taken his, career in his own hands. So he's saying like, hey, people are saying I don't belong here. I'm saying I do. Most of his career consists of being told no. Of people answering questions about him, whether he's a main event player, whether he deserves to be in the WWE, whether he's a top guy, whether he should be a world champion, whether he was going to come back from his injury. All of those questions being said, the answer was no. But he changed the answer to yes. Right? Through he had such will and such determination that he can turn no's to yeses. Even when other people are against him, he can turn a no into a yes. That is showing, in some ways, infinite optimism in the Daniel Bryan believes in himself. He has such a strong sense of self that he takes no's as being a challenge, a dare almost. Daring you to say no so that he can overcome it. I truly thought this was a brilliant promo. And, a lot of people they don't think that he should be in this triple threat match. But this promo was brilliant. I think he set the stage for the other two. Because this was a great babyface promo. And it's strange that Daniel Bryan, and I saw people in the back on the video screen doing thumbs down as Daniel Bryan was like, I can't wait for the people to start chanting yes. And people were like, nope, thumbs down. So some people aren't feeling it. That is true. Some people are not feeling it. And that kind of bleeds into Edge promo. right? Because Edge's central theme was that he came back for this moment. He came back for the main events of WrestleMania to fight for his career, to fight for something he's believed in since he was a kid, something that he always wanted to do, that he fought for it, and that when it was snatched away from him, he fought 9 years to get it back. And now he feels screwed. Like, he hasn't been given the proper respect. And then he kind of breaks down, Edge. He says basically he set the template for Edge. You come in on the 3-man group, you walk in through the crowd, you use the spear as a finish, you're Samoan Edge. Basically you're trying to replace me. You think you're me. And he talks about Daniel Bryan. He says that Daniel Bryan is a indie bookstore clerk. He doesn't belong in this clash of titans. Again, bleeding into the Daniel Bryan promo. People saying he doesn't belong here. People saying that he's not a main event guy. Edge specifically said, Roman, Edge, a clash of the titans. A clash of 2 eras. And then here comes Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan he's not a titan of the era. Right? He's not that guy. He doesn't belong on our level. Edge is putting himself up here. He's already equated himself to Roman Reigns by saying, you're Samoan Edge. But he's saying Daniel Bryan is trying to put himself on that pedestal, and Edge is like, no, you don't deserve to be up here with us. Not just you don't deserve to be in this match, but I classify me and Roman as titans. You don't deserve to be in here with us. That's different. That's next level. So he says this match on Sunday is going to be 10 years to the day that he he was retired, that the world heavyweight title was taken away from him. Nobody actually beat him for it. 10 years to the day. And he said if it was Daniel Bryan, there would be video packages with piano music. Also, a little bit of jealousy there too. He's got that rage built up. That frustration. But there's that little hint of jealousy. That's a little bit of range to the character, showing that he talked about Daniel Bryan. It's like you use sympathy to get into this match. You weaseled your way into this match. Good choice of words. And he basically says that, if Daniel Bryan had been injured, there would have been soft music and video packages, but it's me. They don't respect me. They forgot who I am. Now I'm coming back to remind them. And I'm not here to be a part-timer. I'm here to do hurricanranas off the top rope. I'm here to work. I'm here to be the guy. I'm here to take my spot back. Excellent promo. Excellent promo. And, of course, this bleeds into Roman's promo. Because Edge constantly goes on and on and on about how nobody took it from me. And Roman said, I took it from you. It's like I took it from everyone else. The world title, I got it. I took it. It's mine. The world title he's not just talking about the world title. Understand the world title is a metaphor in this situation. Right? He means the spot. Being the guy. Right? Edge says it. You're Samoan Edge. Basically, you're me. And Roman's basically like, yeah, I am you. I'm in your spot. You have to beat me to take it. And you're not going to be able to do that. And Roman's promo was pretty brilliant too. Because he talks about, these guys they're dreamers. Daniel Bryan has these dreams of main event of WrestleMania, and Edge was talking about being a little kid and dreaming. He's like, I'm not a dreamer. I prep. I work. Every day. I don't have a good week here and there. Daniel Bryan talk about you tap me out. If you tap me out, you be the champion, but you're not. Reality. It's a little bit There's difference between dreams and reality. Roman, that's flat reality. You're not the champion, therefore I didn't quit. Because if I quit, you'd be the champion. It didn't happen. Only in your mind did that happen. Dreams and reality. And he also took it to the next level. He starts talking about dreamers being selfish. He said, dreamers, they're selfish. It's all about them. He said, I come here to work. I make everybody better. I made the ratings better. I made the title mean something. I made it more relevant. I'm helping careers. I helped Jay. Look, Jay just won the Battle Royal. I helped him. I elevated him. He's talking about, when you dream, you're dreaming selfishly. You want to see yourself in this position. He's like, I'm already here. Now I'm lifting up others. I'm a magnanimous king. I'm planting seeds and watching them grow. You need me in this position. This is a constant with the Roman Reigns character. Of course, the king archetype. It makes sense. This was all great, and I love how these promos fit into each other. Even though all these characters are very different, they all have different motivations. They all have the same goal, though. Now, as much as I hate triple threat matches, I'm actually looking forward to this. Okay, I'm looking forward to this, and I hate triple threat matches. This was excellent stuff. Masterful storytelling from these three guys. These were long monologue promos told. I like particularly even the lighting was a little bit different because Daniel Bryan started the show. The crowd is fresh. The people on the boards and everything, they're fresh. I haven't seen anything else. It's bright when he does his promo. It's darker when Edge does his. And it's a little bit of, the lasting memory is Roman coming out there. We get the fade to black with Roman. So it's a little bit of it's light, then it goes dark. So it was tremendous. We have these three guys. Each one of them thought their careers were going to be cut short. Each one of them had to give up titles due to injuries. This is big, and it felt big, and it felt important. So kudos to them for this. This was tremendous. I can't believe it's the same company that puts together Raw. I don't know. And look, if Vince McMahon is responsible for how shitty Raw is, he's got to be responsible for how great SmackDown is. I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. I'm going to talk about Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair being the main event in the predictions. Matter of fact, let's talk about it here. There's no reason to wait for the prediction show. There's a lot of people who are upset about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks being the main event of WrestleMania. There's a couple of things to think about. One, being the WrestleMania main event is in 2021 is not the same as being the WrestleMania main event in 2020 or in 2000 or in 1995 or 1985. All right. These shows are usually paid for well in advance, right? So it's not like, well, you're the top draw, you're the biggest box office, therefore you get in the main event. Sometimes you could be the biggest box office, go on first. People are at the point now where they spend all this money going to Mania, and they don't know what the match, where the card is going to be, and they're going for the whole show. You could put fucking Amos and AJ Styles versus the New Day on last. They don't care. They want to see it. So it doesn't matter. The second thing is Drew McIntyre wanted to start the show. Drew McIntyre said, if I remember correctly, long before even the Royal Rumble took place, that he wanted to be the first person to come out when there's fans. That's what he wanted. And he put it out there in the universe, so he wasn't going to argue when people are saying that Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks wants to be the main event. He's not going to argue with you. And he's the guy in the goddamn match. He's like, they can main event if they want. I want to go on first. And there is something to be said about going on first. Because if you go on first, you have a virgin crowd. They haven't seen anything else. So you get to start hot, right? they're immediately into what you're doing because you're out there first. So, and that's been a new thing for WrestleMania too. Just like the concept of the people who go on last not always being the biggest star, that's been going on for a while now. Like, Jericho and Triple H was the main event. Neither one of them was a bigger star than the match that took place on the same card, right? Undertaker and Shawn wasn't the main event. So, but there's no match of that caliber on this show now. There's nobody. I mean, there may be some really, really good matches on this show, and there's some really good matches on the card. Might be some matches that's going to steal the main event, but there is no Rock and Hogan. There's no Undertaker and Shawn. No doubt about it. This probably should be the main event, and you're making a mistake by not putting it on the main event. There isn't really no match like that. Right? This is going to be a very solid show. May, go above and beyond. But there is nothing absolutely positively, going to make the mainstream salivate, and you're going to, blow your load and not still be up for the main event. And plus, it's 2 nights, so you have more time. That's the second. That's the third thing, really. The first thing is being the main event is not the same thing as it used to be. Second thing is Drew didn't want to be in the main event anyway. He wanted to be in the first match. And some people, I remember having this conversation. It was like, well, Drew doesn't call any shots. I'm like, I'm just saying, this is what he wanted. Okay, he wanted to go on first. Whether you think he called shots or not is irrelevant. He wanted to go on first. And to think that he's going to argue or debate or think anybody else should be arguing and debating about it, he doesn't want to. He wants to go on first. He's going to get what he wants, which is going on first. Sasha Banks wants to go on last. She's going to get what she wants. She's going to get to go on last. And in this situation, I mean, if we think about it, it's for the best. If you don't want to watch Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, you know when to stop, right? You know when to cut the show off because they're going on last. So, it is what it is. But like I said this in a video a couple of weeks ago about Bianca Belair. She's Batista in this situation. She's an untested commodity. They don't know what they got with her. Whether she's going to be a big mainstream star or not, they have no idea. There hasn't been a crowd, right? They don't know what they got. So they're like, okay, push her in the deep end. And if she drowns, she drowns. We know Sasha Banks is a star. You don't got to worry about that. So we at least got some big star power in this match. And Sasha Banks is a draw. Okay, I know some people say, oh, she's not a draw. She is. I'm tired of arguing the whole Sasha Banks isn't a draw argument. It's ridiculous. Okay, there's a reason why she was one of the hand-picked people for Fox. It was just her and Roman. Everybody else was optional, but they wanted Roman and they wanted Sasha. Okay, so there that is. Sasha Banks is the biggest draw. She gets to be in the main event. I think she is the biggest draw on the show, on this particular night, rather. So it is what it is. Bianca Belair is untested. Would I put Bianca Belair in the main event of WrestleMania? No. But, hey, I'm not booking the show. I'm not booking the show. It is what it is. So, I'm in this situation like, I want to see her, see what she can do. There's a lot of goddamn pressure to put on somebody who has never worked a main event match anywhere. Has she even worked a main event match in NXT? No, I don't even think she worked a main event match there. And she's going to main event WrestleMania, her first go round. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And this is what Sasha wanted. So it better be good. That's all I can say. It better be good. Because they only going to get one shot at it. There's no do-overs. But I have no reason to think that the match won't be any good. I think that they can work together. And they've probably been working on this for weeks now. Sasha Banks is the kind of person who doesn't really try to call it in the ring too much. We know that she's a rehearsal type of person. Go over it again and again and again and again type person. So I have no reason to believe that the match is going to suck. It's just all about drawing power. And at the position that they are now, they're not selling pay-per-views. So they don't have to load up the show. They don't have to make the match this big mega match anymore. It's not 1997. You know, they don't need Mike Tyson in the main event or anything like that. You know, Peacock is paying for this shit. You know, NBC's paying for all this shit anyway. So, they're not going to make that much money because there's only 25,000 seats in the building. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to get a deal on the building, So I'm okay with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair being the main event. It is what it is. Not going to argue with them about it. It seems pretty silly. So let's get into the promos it cut. Because I really like I really like Bianca's promo. She cut a great babyface promo. Her babyface promo focused on, what she says. She's nervous. But nervous means that you care. You can be nervous, but you can never be scared. And that's something she learned from her daddy. And I thought you connect those two things. One, she's taking in these these proverbs or whatever from her dad, as an adult, and she's still living by that. And it's something that other young people can understand. When you're talking about a babyface, and being a babyface is exceptionally harder than being a heel. It's harder to make people like you than it is to make them dislike you. Okay? When you say stuff like that is sort of relatable, that's teachable for young people, it makes it easier for people to like you. It's still going to be very, very hard to get people to like you, especially when they don't really hate your opponent. And Sasha Banks has more fans than haters. Okay, it's absurd how many fans she has. So ultimately, I think she did a good job of saying, that she's nervous, that this is a big opportunity, but she's confident. And she's confident in herself that she's going to make this work. She will be the champion. Sasha Banks is also confident, but Sasha Banks is cackling like the Wicked Witch of the West, and she is not good. Sasha Banks is not good. This is the worst Sasha Banks I've ever seen. She has been terrible on promos and terrible on everything for like the past 3 months. She has not been good. Now, her promo is basically she's going to make Bianca Belair tap because she is the BEST of WWE. And she's the boss. She's the standard. She's, the blueprint and all that stuff. And just her delivery is not good. It's not good. Of all of the main event talent that spoke on this show, Sasha's promo was the worst. And that wouldn't have been the case 2 years ago. Wouldn't have been the case when Charlotte is around, when Becky is around. It wouldn't have been the case, And I don't know. Sasha Banks is not good. Somebody is. If you think that she is, please let me know in the comment section below. But I think it's pretty unanimous at this point. Sasha Banks is a terrible promo right now. And I don't know what happened to her because she didn't used to be so bad, but she's awful now. So let's go into the matches, and we're gonna go into everything in order because there was still some good promos on this show other than the main event people. There was also some good action. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match. The Street Profits, Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs. Well, Street Profits, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler, who are the Dirty Dogs. Alpha Academy, which is Otis and Chad Gable versus the Mysterios. So the Street Profits got jumped during their promo by Roode and Ziggler, which started the fight. And then everybody else came in and started the fight. And then they fought off into commercial. When they came back, everybody was in their place and nobody got an entrance. The match had some great action. I like the shine that Mysterio was able to get. Dominic is coming along. The Street Profits are great. All right, the Street Profits are great. Like Montez Ford is legit. Montez Ford is legit. I would be very upset if Montez Ford is not WWE champion by 2030. Let's put it like that. Let's give him 9 years. Because I don't know how long the Street Profits can last. Let's say they last another year or two. right? 2025, he should be a single star by then. And he should, be on his way to being a top guy. Because Montez Ford is great. He's great. And Diego Delca is not bad. But Montez Ford is exceptional. So you also got some good stuff out of the Street Profits, and of course the Alpha Academy was really good too. The finish was typical WWE finish, which is why I hate fatal four ways and triple threat matches. It's a blind tag, and Montez Ford hits the frog splash, and then Ziggler steals the pin. I was like, oh, that's why I hate triple threat matches, and they cannot make these things interesting, right? The finish, the match was going fine. But then it gave me this flat ass finish where it's the same shit all the time. It was the shits. All right, then we get what we got for after this. The Big E promo. Oh, this Big E promo was fire. It was hot. I love this promo. This guy's talking about, Apollo getting in touch with who he is. He said, I never forgot. Going to the same barber he been going to, where he get his line up and when he get his mind right. And then we go on a tour through Tampa where he played football and lifted weights and wrestled and all this stuff. And he talked about how, he has a piece of the Raymond James Stadium. He has a piece of that soil. This is where he played football. And we get this, like, it felt huge. It felt real. And this is great, but it seems real strange because of Apollo's talking about that goddamn accent. But he basically was like, this is where your Intercontinental Championship dreams come to die. And I was like, I love this promo. Top tier promo. Great shit. Then we get Nia Jax versus Tamina. I didn't know what to think about this. I was actually dreading this. But they told a decent story here. Tamina is real fired up. Right? Tamina and Natalya are done playing around. Tamina is, their family, quote unquote, Tamina and Natalya. But they're going back and forth. Tamina bumps Nia Jax, pushing her down. Then of course Reginald gets involved as Tamina's shining up, even though it's heel versus heel, which is really strange. She was given a shine. She was very, fired up. The finish came in with a Samoan drop. She managed to get Nia Jax up for a Samoan drop, and then Shayna Baszler just ran in the ring and got disqualified, and got Nia Jax disqualified. Then Natalya came in there and they fought them off. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought it was weird, of course, because we're like, they're protecting Tamina for a reason. They're protecting Tamina for something. So then after this, we get the promo. The Riot Squad, and they're in there with Billie Kay and Carmella. And Carmella's talking about herself. How, the tag team championships are hers. And then she was like, Billie Kay was like, ours? And she was like, yes, ours. And that was fine. They're talking to the Riot Squad, and the Riot Squad talking about how focused they are and all that type of stuff. Then it seemed like out of nowhere, it just erupted into a giant fight because Lana and Naomi was there. Then Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke was there. And everybody was fighting, and then Tamina and Natalya showed up and just wrecked everybody. They just came in and wrecked everybody. They beat everybody up. And I was just like, okay, these are the new Divas of Doom I see. They probably wouldn't even call them that today. But I was like, okay, they're telling us straight up what's happening. They've been telling us for like 2 weeks what's happening. I see it. I'm not going to go against it. I've said, though, that essentially it's the same team as Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, though. Because it's the same dynamic. Technical performer, giant Caribbean lady. That's pretty much would you say Caribbean? Pacific Islander. I think that's a more correct term. Pacific Islander. Except Tamina is Fijian. Then we get this wonderful little Seth Rollins ad. where they talk about Cesaro. And Cesaro is a great talent, but he doesn't have it. He talked about how he's never won the Royal Rumble. He's never won the Universal title. He's never even had a singles match at WrestleMania. But Seth Rollins, he has all that we need. It was basically like a political promotional ad showing Seth Rollins as with him holding the torch in the air, and who has graced us with countless WrestleMania moments. And Cesaro has let us down all this time. So I thought that was pretty good too. I like that. That was a nice little ad. I need them to do more of those. I need more of stuff like that. Seth Rollins just kind of transitioning into loud suit wearing politician. Talk about embracing the vision. The pivot from cult leader to politician. Notice how that is seamless, right? How he's gone from cult leader to politician, because that's what politicians are, they're cult leaders. Anyway, after that, we did the Edge promo. I already did that. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce were talking about how unfair it was that Rude and Ziggler had to wrestle 3 other teams. And Adam Pearce was like, okay, yeah, sure, but it was done now. And then Sonya Deville said, I think that this triple threat match is unfair. I don't think Edge, Roman Reigns, should have to defend against Edge and Daniel Bryan. And Adam Pearce was looking like, huh? Like, we're one day away from WrestleMania. What are you talking about? And then she takes off. I thought that she was going to change it, have the power to change it, but I don't think she does. So I think that they might be doing some chicanery here. That maybe Sonya Deville, we're gonna start unraveling this how Sonya got her power situation, which has been a dangling thread on SmackDown for a long time. Is where did Sonya Deville come from? How the hell does she get so much authority? Right. So this ought to be interesting. I want to see where this is going. So then we get Sami Zayn, and he's back there bothering Jake Paul, and he's getting on Jake Paul's nerves, and he's talking like they're the best of buds. Jake Paul is in the ring with his brother, and they're boxing, they're sparring, and Sami Zayn is like, "Oh, I want to spar with you guys. And he goes to get his gear to spar. He leaves. He comes back. The door is locked, and the security guy won't let him in. He's like, "Look, we're closed. It's over." And Sami Zayn's like, "I was just in there," and the guy pushes Sami Zayn back, closes the door. Sami Zayn then immediately comes out on SmackDown and says, "You can't show that footage. That was selectively edited footage. You didn't see the part where me and Logan Paul went out to breakfast, lunch, or whatever." And then Corey Graves was like, "What did you have for breakfast?" And then Sami Zayn stumbled some lie. As Sami Zayn was trying to explain how selectively edited this was, the SmackDown theme song starts to play over his voice. So you can't really hear what he's saying anymore. And obviously that's part of the conspiracy, is that he's not even being able to explain himself. And then, of course, he gets attacked by Kevin Owens as all of the Battle Royal guys are coming down to the ring. And Sami Zayn gets run off by Kevin Owens, who, of course, wants to beat him up and has threatened to pretty much kill him. So then we get the main event of the show, which was, of course, the last segment was Roman Reigns talking. But the main event of the show was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And this was probably the best Battle Royal since the first one, because they told a lot of mini stories in this. And the mini stories were essentially that Ali did not forget about how terrible the Hurt Business are. So he told everybody else, he rounded up the goons and said, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are terrible guys. We need to get rid of them. They're working together. We need to get rid of them. So then the entire field worked together to throw out Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin because they're terrible guys. T-Bone and Mace were working together as a tag team. They're still in Retribution gear. Don't know why. Slapjack was in here too, still in Retribution gear. And they did basically a mini tag team match against Jackson Ryker and Elias. What ended up with Jackson Ryker and Elias getting thrown over the top rope. And then Ali you know, tosses Mace from the match. So you get a retribution story where Ali is now going to get his vengeance or retribution. So he tosses out Mace. Then he's, tangling up with T-Bar. He ends up throwing out T-Bar too. And then the third story we got, which was the house party. Kalisto has been on SmackDown for 200 days. This is his first appearance. He has been on SmackDown since the draft. This is his very first appearance. And they still remembered that he was beefing with Lucha House Party. So he tries to round up Metalik and Lince Dorado. He wants to do the Lucha. And they kind of play along with it for a little bit. And then they beat him up. And then together they throw him out. So Kalisto got tossed by Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. And then Grand Metalik threw out Lince Dorado. So we also got Ivar from the Viking Raiders. He was here. I didn't know he was well. I know that WWE doesn't typically use tag team guys when your tag team partner is hurt. I think Tucker was also in this match. I didn't even recognize him. I think I saw on Twitter that Tucker was in this match. So they had many stories in here. I thought that was really good. The final five was Ricochet, Baron Corbin, Jey Uso, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Ali. So that's a strong set. We ended up with Nakamura, Uso, and Corbin as the final three. And we ended up with Nakamura and Jey Uso as the last two, with Jey Uso winning. Jey Uso winning was excellent. It was the right decision. It was a great bottle. It was a great gold star for the amount of work that he had done up to this point. Like, Jey Uso can't win a title. That's the thing. Like, the Intercontinental title it's got, Biggie got a death grip on it right now. Put a title on, since you can't put a title on him, you have to give him something that elevates his character and also rewards him for all the effort that he's put in. And I think this is as good as it could get. There's no King of the Ring tournament or anything like that. So you got something here that's prestigious, kind of, with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now you have a guy who, he's been a major player for the last several months, and you continue with him being a major player for the next several months. So you basically capped off the main event Uso storyline with him winning the main event of the last SmackDown before Wrestlemania. Cool. I like that. Also, I thought it was very interesting that Roman came out while Jey Uso was still celebrating. So he kind of cut Jey Uso's celebration off. He kind of stepped on it a little bit. And, Jey was visibly kind of upset about it. Like, this month, like he won't let me have nothing. I can't have nothing. But Roman did offer his hand, and Roman, showed him some respect, and I appreciated that too. So this SmackDown was from top to bottom really good. The only thing I could complain about was the women's stuff, and them not finishing whatever that was, and how that just erupted so fast. But the rest of the show, excellent. The promos, even the videotaped promos, like the Big E and the Seth Rollins and the Sami Zayn stuff, all very good. It was a great show. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your time. Put me on the payroll by subscribing via Subscribestar, or you can send cash directly via Cash App. And you can follow me on Twitter. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Thank you guys for your time. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.